Hello, my name is Jeff Harrison. I'm a Jesuit priest at St. John's College in Belize City. This is a reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to the disciples, "I tell you, unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and the Pharisees, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. You have heard that it was said to your ancestors, 'You shall not kill, and whoever kills will be liable to judgment.' But I say to you, whoever is angry with brother or sister will be liable to judgment, and whoever says Raka will be answerable to the Sanhedrin, and whoever says you fool will be liable to fiery Gehenna. Therefore, if you bring your gift to the altar, and there recall that your brother or sister has anything against you, leave your gift at the altar, go first and be reconciled, then come and offer your gift. Settle with your opponent quickly while on the way to court. Otherwise, your opponent may hand you over to the judge will hand you over to the guard, and you will be thrown into prison. Amen, I say to you, you will not be released until you have paid the last penny." The Gospel of the Lord. So this reading comes in the midst of a whole series of speeches by Jesus where he begins, "You have heard that it was said to your ancestors." And basically, he goes through the commandments. So we have here today the sixth commandment, "You shall not kill." And Jesus is not saying there's anything wrong with that commandment. But as usual, he's taking us into a deeper understanding of where God is in this. So to simply say, "You shall not kill," and leave it at that. Imagine if I treat people very badly my whole life, cheat, all of these things, and then I come before the Lord and say, "Well, but I never killed anybody." That really doesn't meet the kind of thing that God is calling us to, because what God is calling us to is a deeper understanding of God's love for us, for each one, that then we are supposed to extend to others. The very first line, "Unless your righteousness surpasses that of the scribes and the Pharisees." Now, if you'd ask the average person at that time, are the scribes and the Pharisees righteous? They probably would, "Oh, yes, they're very holy. They're the ones that are the most righteous." And Jesus is calling on people to go past what seems to be the righteousness of the Pharisees and the scribes, which, as we know from other passages, came down to every little bit of observing the law. And law is important. We shouldn't kill one another. We shouldn't steal. We shouldn't commit adultery. All of these things that are in the commandments. But Jesus says that is simply the bare minimum. We are called to go far beyond that. In his first speech as Pope, Francis called on us to remember God's mercy and forgiveness. And not to take it for granted, not to just say, "Oh, well, God's merciful. I can do whatever I want because in the end, God will forgive me." No, but we must call on it. And by calling on mercy and forgiveness for ourselves, we then embody that in our own lives. And we are to give mercy and justice and forgiveness to other people. Jesus makes this very clear. He echoes the prophet Hosea, who said, "It is not sacrifice, but mercy that I desire." And so in our daily lives, we are called upon not to say, "Well, I'm not killing you, I am not stealing from you, I'm not committing adultery with you," but to go much deeper and say, are you and I in need of forgiveness of each other? Because God has forgiven us. Where do I extend mercy, even to those who may not seem to deserve it? Because God has extended mercy to me. So at this time of Lent, we're called to think about these things in a deeper way. And especially during this time of pandemic, this time of hunger, this time of poverty, this time of unemployment, to look out for one another and to say, where are other people in need? Where have other people helped me in my need? And what can I do for them? And if we can do that, then we will indeed have fulfilled the words of Pope Francis, of Jesus, of God the Father, who has called us, "It is not sacrifice, but mercy that I desire."